When you think of the kettlebell, most people immediately think of the kettlebell swing, so they think that's the first place to start. And that's a huge mistake. People jump into it way too fast and they don't learn to do it properly, so they hurt themselves. And that's why the kettlebell swing gets such a bad reputation. But it is one of the best exercises that you could ever do for your general health, but only if you learn to do it the right way. If you're trying to get strong with kettlebell swings, but all you're getting is a sore back and a ton of frustration, just stop. Seriously, just stop. You're probably making one of the biggest mistakes that isn't just wasting your time, it's putting you on the fast track to an injury. So before you even attempt to start swinging, you need to master one foundational movement, because the explosive, powerful kettlebell swing that you're chasing starts with the simplicity of this foundational movement. So today, I'm going to show you exactly why this is the key to a safe and powerful swing and walk you through every step to get it right. The number one mistake I see people make with the kettlebell swing is that they treat it like a squat. They drop their hips straight down, keep their chest up, and then try to muscle the kettlebell up with their arms and their shoulders. And this squatty swing puts a ton of nasty pressure on your lower back, and it totally misses the entire point of the exercise. I can't emphasize this point enough. The power for a swing does not come from your arms. It comes from an explosive snap of your hips, because a swing is a hip hinge. It's predominantly a hip movement. It's not a leg movement. It's not a back movement. It's not an arm movement. It's a hip movement. If you get this wrong, you're going to waste all your energy, you're going to risk injury, and you're going to cheat yourself from getting the results that you want, because you're not loading the large muscles of your posterior chain, your glutes and your hamstrings. And these two muscle groups are the real engines for this movement. And what you end up with is a weak and awkward, sorta but not really kind of swing that just feels off. It wears down your spine and it doesn't build the athletic power that this movement could potentially bring you. So how do you fix it? Well, we go back to basics. We master the kettlebell deadlift. The deadlift isn't really much of a different exercise because it's literally the DNA of a good swing. But it is a slower, more controlled version of the movement. And instead of being a ballistic movement like the swing, it's what we call a grind. And it teaches your body the single most important pattern that it needs to learn in order to execute the swing properly, and that's the hip hinge. It forces you to figure out how to drive movement from your hips while keeping your spine perfectly straight and safe. By starting with the deadlift, you build all the skills that you need for a great swing: how to fire up your lats to keep your shoulders safe, how to stay balanced on your feet, and most importantly, how to create that power from your hips instead of yanking with your back and your arms. But we're not going to start with just any old kind of deadlift. Specifically, we're going to focus on the dead stop kettlebell deadlift. This just means that the kettlebell comes to a full and complete stop on the floor after every single rep. And this is the key point because it makes you reset and get tight for each lift. You can't use momentum or bounce your way through it. It's a much safer, much more deliberate way to train the strength and burn that perfect technique into your brain. So let's build this from the ground up, literally. First, let's get the setup right. Put the kettlebell on the floor so the handle is lined up just in front of your ankle bones about mid-feet. Set your feet about hip width apart, maybe a little wider. Now let's get the hinge pattern. Don't just drop your butt down. That's what a lot of people do, and they turn it into a squat. What I want you to think about is pushing your hips straight back like you're trying to tap your butt to the wall behind you. In fact, doing that is a very good drill for this entire exercise. So your spine should stay long and straight, don't round it. You want to keep your chest proud, and your knees are going to naturally want to bend a little bit, and that's okay up to a point, but your shins should stay more or less vertical, more or less. You want to bend down, grab the handle with both hands, and now before you even think about lifting it, do this. Act like you're going to break the handle by rotating your elbows inwards. You should feel that in your lats. These muscles right behind your armpits, they should fire up. And this is what locks your shoulders into place and protects your back. Now to stand up, don't just pull with your arms. They're just acting like little ropes right now. They're extensions of your back. They're just connecting your hands to your back. Instead, think about using your feet to drive the floor away from you and pull the slack out of the ropes that way. You don't want to bend your arms at all because that's not the point of the exercise. Now, the real work happens when you explosively drive your hips forward to stand tall. You want to squeeze your glutes and brace your abs at the top, finishing in a strong, solid standing plank, and make sure you don't hyperextend your back. To lower the bell, just reverse the motion smoothly. Push the hips back first, keep the kettlebell close to your body, and set it right back down where you started. That's 1 rep. Now come to a complete stop, reset by releasing the tension from the kettlebell, and then go again. Seriously, practice this. If you want to get the swing right, learn this movement first. Try doing 3 to 5 sets of just 5 perfect slow and steady reps. Start light enough to perform the movement, but heavy enough for it to still be a challenge. Get the motion dialed into where you hinge naturally without having to think about it, and then you're ready to transfer this over to the swing, and it won't take nearly as long as you think. Now, the kettlebell swing is an awesome, powerful movement, but all of that power is built on the foundation of a controlled, perfect hinge. It might seem easy when you're swinging light weights. You can kind of sacrifice form, but it's not a good idea. You need to program this motion properly if you ever want to work up towards some respectable weight. And the dead stop deadlift teaches your body this exact pattern safely and effectively. It builds strength where you need to execute the movement in your glutes, your hamstrings, and your back, and it gives you functional power that you can use in everyday life. So stop wasting your time with sloppy, dangerous swings. Master the deadlift first, build the foundation, and then you can unleash the power. Go practice your deadlifts.